Have you ever felt like something powerful is approaching you, like a silent wave preparing to rise and finally carry you to where you always knew you were meant to be? Aquarius, listen closely, because what you are about to hear is not random, and it is not accidental. The reason you are here right now is because your intuition led you to this exact message. There are moments in life when the universe stops whispering and begins speaking clearly, directly, undeniably. This is one of those moments. This is a turning point. This is an awakening disguised as a reminder of everything you already know deep inside. You are entering a chapter that will not look like anything you have experienced before. The energy around you is shifting, elevating, unlocking, and the universe is finally saying one phrase that changes everything. It is time. For so long, you may have felt like you were walking forward without clear direction, as if you were waiting for a sign, waiting for clarity, waiting for something to connect the dots. You may have questioned your pace, your purpose, your timing. You may have wondered why certain paths disappeared, why certain people faded, why what once made sense no longer felt aligned. What you may not have realized is that every delay was protection, every silence was calibration, every pause was preparation for something much bigger than you could understand at the time. Aquarius, you are not ordinary. You are not here to repeat patterns or live inside limitations. You carry a blueprint that very few souls possess: the visionary, the innovator, the one who sees possibilities where others see boundaries, the one who moves ahead of the world, sometimes so far ahead that you felt alone in your brilliance. But the world is finally catching up to your frequency. This is why now feels different. This is why opportunities are beginning to appear. This is why people are drawn to you without fully understanding why. Your frequency has risen, and the universe has responded by preparing the space for your next evolution. Something extraordinary is happening. You may not see all of it yet, but you can feel it. A quiet strength, a growing certainty, a sense that the next chapter will not require struggle. Instead, it will require trust, alignment, authenticity, and courage. What is coming toward you does not demand that you chase it. It requires that you become the version of yourself who is ready to receive it. When you begin to live as if the blessing is already yours, reality adjusts to match that belief. So take a breath. Place your awareness in the present moment, because right now, the universe is opening a door that was not available to you before. This door leads to expansion, to breakthroughs, to manifestations that once felt distant or impossible. This is the moment where the waiting ends. This is the moment where you step forward, not because you are ready in the eyes of the world, but because you are ready in the eyes of your soul. If you can feel these words in your chest, if something inside you recognizes this truth, write this in the comments as an affirmation. I am ready to receive what is already mine. Aquarius, let me ask you something that many people never slow down long enough to consider. Have you noticed how life sometimes feels like it is holding its breath right before everything changes? There are seasons where nothing moves, where every effort feels like pushing against invisible walls, where progress feels slow, uncertain, or tangled. You may have had moments where you wondered if you were being overlooked, delayed, or redirected. But what if those moments were not setbacks? What if they were the universe preparing the road ahead, so that when you finally stepped forward, everything aligned with precision and purpose? The turning of the wheel is not loud. It begins quietly, like the first soft shift of wind before a storm of transformation. And Aquarius, that subtle shift has already begun. For a long time, you have been walking a path that required patience. Sometimes it felt like waiting, other times it felt like wandering. And occasionally, you may have felt suspended between what was and what has not yet arrived. But here is something important. The universe was not ignoring you. The universe was organizing everything behind the curtain of the unseen. Your trials, interruptions, and uncertain pauses were actually sacred timing. Just like a seed rests in the soil before breaking the surface, Your energy has been in a quiet stage of becoming. The lessons you learned during these still periods were not random either. They shaped your clarity, sharpened your intuition, and built the foundation for what is coming now. Energy is changing around you in ways that feel undeniable, even if you cannot explain it yet. You may find yourself waking up with more awareness, more intuition, or a sudden inner knowing that something is unfolding. You may notice your mindset shifting from questioning to trusting, from hoping to believing, from waiting to allowing. The turning of the wheel is not just external events adjusting. It is your inner world aligning with a new frequency. You are stepping into a different rhythm, one where what once required effort will begin flowing, one where opportunities meet you instead of escaping you, one where clarity replaces confusion, and momentum replaces stagnation. And here is the most powerful part. The turning of the wheel does not ask for fear or hesitation. It asks for presence. It asks for awareness. It asks for courage to recognize that you are no longer who you were previously. You have grown. You have healed. You have shed layers of doubt, patterns of limitation, and identities built from survival. Now, the universe is meeting you where you finally stand in your truth. Momentum is gathering. Paths are opening. Timing is aligning. You are stepping into a chapter where the universe responds to your energy as if it has been waiting, because it has. Aquarius, let us talk about who you truly are beneath expectations, conditioning, and the roles you once felt obligated to play. There is a part of you that has never fully blended into the world around you. Even from a young age, you sensed that you were somehow operating on a different frequency. While others followed the familiar path, you followed the one that felt aligned with truth, curiosity, and possibility. You have always seen life through a unique lens, one that was not shaped by tradition or repetition but by innovation and vision. That is not accidental. That is the Aquarius archetype quietly guiding you. You are known as the visionary, and there is profound significance in that title. A visionary does not wait for permission to think differently. A visionary does not shrink to match a world that prefers comfort over evolution. A visionary moves ahead of time itself. You carry thoughts, ideas, and dreams that stretch beyond the present moment. And even if others did not understand you, even if some doubted you or labeled you unconventional, your inner compass remained focused on something greater than approval. Deep down, there has always been a knowing that you were born to shift energy, to challenge the ordinary, and to elevate humanity in ways most people are not yet ready to comprehend. One of the most powerful traits of Aquarius is your ability to detach emotionally when clarity is needed. Some people misinterpret that as coldness or distance, but the truth is very different. You do not detach because you lack feeling. You detach because you are able to see beyond emotion, beyond temporary chaos, and into the deeper truth beneath it all. You observe patterns. You understand motives. You see the structure behind behavior. That level of perception is rare. It gives you the ability to move with wisdom rather than fear. It allows you to choose response over reaction. And as you enter this new season of your life, this gift becomes even more important. There is another layer to the Aquarius archetype that many forget. Beneath your independence, beneath your forward-thinking nature, there is a deeply compassionate spirit. You care about humanity. You care about justice. You care about integrity and truth. You are here to elevate not just yourself, but the collective. Your ideas are not simply personal dreams. They are blueprints for a better reality. And in this moment, your soul is awakening to that purpose in ways you may not have expected. You are beginning to remember your strength, your originality, and the value of what you bring to any environment. So yes, Aquarius, you are different. And that difference is not a flaw. It is not a limitation. It is your power. The world is shifting now, and it is shifting toward the kind of thinking, intuition, and spiritual emotional intelligence that you naturally embody. Your uniqueness is no longer something to hide. It is now the gateway to everything you are meant to create, attract, and become in this next chapter of your life. Aquarius, Let us be honest for a moment. Growth rarely feels graceful while it is happening. Sometimes it feels like loss, confusion, or disconnection. Sometimes it feels like walking away from pieces of your life that once felt permanent. And sometimes it feels like the universe is removing things faster than you can understand why. But what if every ending in your past seasons was not destruction, but preparation? What if every door that closed was never meant to stay open? What if every separation, every shift, every uncomfortable silence was clearing space for the future you are stepping into now? There may have been friendships, relationships, or connections that once felt unbreakable, yet somehow they faded, dissolved, or gently unraveled. At first, you may have questioned whether something was wrong with you. You may have wondered if you outgrew them or if they outgrew you. But here is the truth many never realize. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into every level of your evolution. Some people were bridges, some were teachers, some were temporary mirrors showing you what you needed to heal, and some were chapters that completed their purpose. It was never rejection, it was redirection. During this release phase, you may have also noticed a shift within yourself. Habits that once comforted you no longer felt aligned. Environments that once energized you began exhausting you. Conversations that once entertained you felt shallow. You started craving authenticity, peace, depth, and purpose. And as your inner world evolved, your external world had no choice but to rearrange. This is how spiritual alignment works. You cannot rise and remain the same. You cannot step into a new destiny with the weight of an old identity. So the universe gently peeled back what no longer matched your frequency. One of the most profound transformations in this phase is emotional detachment. Not the kind that comes from avoidance, but the kind that comes from wisdom. You stopped chasing closure. You stopped explaining your worth. You stopped forcing connections that drained your spirit. You learned the sacred art of letting go with peace. That is emotional evolution. That is spiritual maturity. That is the soul, recognizing that what is meant for you will never require self-betrayal to maintain it. So if you look back and see moments of separation, endings, stillness, or uncertainty, remember this: none of it was a setback. None of it was random. Every release created energetic space for alignment, abundance, and opportunity. And now that the release phase is complete, the universe can finally bring forward what was waiting for you all along. Because clarity follows release, breakthrough follows surrender, and every ending you survived has now become the doorway to your next beginning. Aquarius, there is a moment in every journey when forward motion becomes inevitable, when the universe no longer feels distant or silent, but active and responsive. That moment is where you stand right now. The energy surrounding you has shifted from waiting to momentum, from preparation to activation. It feels different, does it not? It feels lighter, clearer, and more aligned. It feels like the path ahead is no longer something you are trying to figure out, but something that is beginning to reveal itself, one step at a time. That sensation is not coincidence. It is the green light energy calling you forward. For a long time, you may have felt like life was in a holding pattern. Plans moved slowly. Opportunities felt delayed. Progress felt inconsistent. It may have felt as if no matter how much effort you put in, something unseen held you back, almost like divine timing was saying not yet. But now, the shift has happened. You are entering a season where doors open not because you push harder, but because you are aligned with them. Synchronicities multiply. The right conversations happen effortlessly. The right people enter your life without explanation. Ideas flow with clarity, and your intuition becomes louder and more reliable. The universe is no longer preparing you. It is partnering with you. There is something sacred about this kind of momentum. It does not rush. It does not force. It unfolds with certainty and grace. It feels like being carried instead of chasing. It feels like alignment instead of effort. The green light energy is a signal that you have completed the internal work required for the external world to respond. It is the moment where the universe recognizes your readiness. It is the moment where resistance falls away and flow takes its place. If you notice opportunities appearing quickly, if you feel a surge of confidence, if you sense that the timing finally feels right, trust it. You are not imagining it. You are stepping into your acceleration phase. This is also the time when confidence naturally begins to rise. Not ego, not performance, but a deep inner knowing that you are deserving and capable. You may notice a new level of clarity about what you want, and even more importantly, what you will no longer accept. This clarity is a sign of alignment. When the wheel turns and the universe signals go, there is no need to tolerate uncertainty or settle for less than what resonates with your soul. You are being invited to claim your path with strength, conviction, and faith. So as you step into this new chapter, remember this: you are not waiting for life to begin. You are already moving with it. You are not asking for approval. You are living in alignment. You are not hoping for the green light. The green light has already been given, and everything that once felt uncertain will now begin to take form with purpose and direction. You have entered the phase where life responds to your courage, your authenticity, and your readiness. Aquarius, now that the energy has shifted and the universe has opened the gates, the question becomes simple but profound. What do you do with this momentum? This chapter of your journey is not about forcing outcomes or returning to how things were. It is about stepping into a new rhythm, one guided by clarity, intuition, and aligned action. The path forward is not a test. It is an invitation. You are being asked to trust the version of yourself that has emerged from every lesson, every breakthrough, and every quiet moment of growth. This is where your intention meets divine timing. The first step on this path is saying yes to inspired action, not rushed action, not action based on fear, pressure, or urgency. Inspired action is the kind that rises from within, that feels aligned and purposeful, even if it feels bold or unfamiliar. When something feels like a pull rather than a push, that is your soul speaking. The opportunities now appearing in your life may not look like the ones you imagined, but they hold keys you do not want to overlook. When your intuition nudges you, when a door opens unexpectedly, when something or someone feels aligned without explanation, allow yourself to lean in. Growth requires movement, and movement requires courage. The second step is protecting your energy. Now more than ever, your emotional and spiritual environment matters. You cannot step into expansion while entertaining distractions, negativity, or energetic noise. This does not mean shutting out the world or becoming isolated. It means choosing what feels aligned with your peace, your purpose, and your inner truth. It means acknowledging that not every conversation deserves access to you. Not every connection deserves continuation, and not every environment deserves your presence. You are not withdrawing. You are refining. You are choosing soul alignment over familiarity. The third step on this path forward is embracing patience with confidence. This may sound unusual, but Aquarius, it is powerful. When you know something is meant for you, there is no need to cling to it or fear losing it. You do not chase what is already aligned with your energy. Instead, you operate with trust and grounded certainty. Divine timing is not just about waiting, it is about becoming. As you continue elevating your frequency, what is meant for you becomes inevitable. Every delay will feel less like a setback and more like divine synchronization. Finally, the path forward requires one of the greatest forms of strength: authenticity. This is where you stand in your truth without shrinking, without apologizing, and without watering yourself down to make others comfortable. You are not here to fit into the world. You are here to shape it. Your ideas, your energy, your voice, your presence, all of it carries purpose. You are entering a chapter where alignment replaces effort, and authenticity replaces approval. You are not waiting for permission. You are declaring readiness. Aquarius, take a slow breath and allow yourself to feel something for a moment. Not think, not analyze, just feel. There is a version of you that already exists in the energetic realm, a version that has crossed the bridge between potential and reality. This future version of you is calm, confident, fulfilled, and grounded. This version of you is not waiting for life to make sense. They are living with purpose, clarity, and alignment. And right now, that future version is reaching back to you, guiding you, whispering to you, encouraging you to step into the life that belongs to you. Not someday, not eventually, but now. Imagine that version of yourself standing in front of you. Notice the posture, the expression, the energy. There is no doubt there. There is no hesitation. There is no fear disguised as logic. This version of you has made choices based on faith rather than fear. They have followed intuition over pressure. They have said yes to opportunities that once felt intimidating. They have learned when to walk away, when to trust, when to rise, and when to surrender. They have mastered the balance between effort and flow. They no longer question whether they deserve happiness, stability, love, or success. They embody it. This connection between your present self and your future self is not imaginary. It is alignment. Every time you choose what feels aligned with your soul instead of what feels safe to the mind, you move closer to that version. Every time you set a boundary, speak your truth, or honor your intuition, you step into that future timeline with strength and certainty. Every time you release self-doubt and choose self-belief, you collapse the distance between who you were and who you are becoming. Many people believe the future is something they must chase, but the truth is far more powerful. The future is created through identity. The universe responds not to what you want, but to who you become. When you see yourself as worthy, opportunities appear that match worthiness. When you see yourself as capable, pathways open that require capability. When you see yourself as aligned, life brings you experiences that mirror alignment. You are not waiting for the future. The future is waiting for you to embody the frequency that matches it. There is a moment in every spiritual journey where the past version of self fades and a new identity rises. That moment is often subtle, but undeniable. You begin making decisions with clarity, speaking with conviction, and moving with purpose. You stop explaining your vision and start becoming it. You stop fearing change and start initiating it. You stop waiting for permission and start trusting yourself. Aquarius, you are entering that moment now. Your transformation is no longer internal only. The outer world will soon reflect everything your inner world has evolved into. Aquarius, pause here for a moment and let everything you have heard settle into your spirit. You have walked through seasons of uncertainty, change, growth, and powerful inner awakening. You have experienced endings that felt painful, delays that tested your patience, and breakthroughs that reshaped your understanding of who you are. And through every chapter, you have evolved. Not just emotionally, not just mentally, but spiritually. You are no longer the person who doubted themselves, who questioned their path, or who waited for permission to rise. You are stepping into a reality where your intuition guides you, your confidence leads you, and your purpose strengthens you. This is not just a new chapter. This is a new identity. There is something incredibly sacred about this moment in your journey. You are standing at the threshold between who you once were and who you are destined to become. The universe is not asking you to rush. It is asking you to trust. It is asking you to breathe deeply, step forward with courage, and allow the unfolding to happen naturally. Sometimes the most powerful transformation does not come from force, but from alignment, from finally choosing yourself, from finally believing that the dreams you carry in your heart were placed there intentionally, not randomly. Every desire, every vision, every calling within you exists because somewhere in the unseen realm, it already belongs to you. So, as you prepare to move forward, remember this: you do not walk alone. The universe walks with you. Your guides walk with you. Your ancestors walk with you. Every lesson, every challenge, every silent prayer has led you to this moment. You have earned your breakthrough through faith, resilience, and perseverance. Now, the universe is not just opening doors, it is clearing pathways. It is aligning people, opportunities, and timing in ways that are far beyond logic. What is meant for you will not pass you. What is yours cannot be taken from you. And what awaits you is greater than anything you have left behind. So step forward now with clarity. Step forward with strength. Step forward with the unshakable, knowing that everything you have waited for, worked for, prayed for, and prepared for is already making its way into your reality. You are no longer living from fear. You are living from purpose. You are no longer shrinking yourself to fit into small spaces. You are expanding into your highest potential. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. Your journey matters. And your future is rising with the power of destiny behind it. Aquarius, this is your time. Your transformation is not temporary. It is permanent. You are stepping into a life where alignment replaces struggle, where clarity replaces confusion, and where abundance replaces doubt. Walk forward with grace. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward knowing that every step you take is guided, protected, and purposeful. The universe has already given you the green light. The only thing left is to step into the life that has always been waiting for you. If this message resonated with your spirit and breathed life into your journey, allow yourself to continue expanding. There are more messages waiting for you, more guidance to receive, and more alignment to unlock. So stay with this energy and continue watching the other videos available on this channel. They are here to support you, guide you, and remind you of who you truly are.